Hi, my name's Olivia Zoll.
And I'm Dylan Ehrenfried, and we're here to tell you what's going on
at Blind Brook. We're excited to welcome you all to At Blind Brook. This is the first episode of a new series, and we will be giving you an insider view of what's going on in the Blind Brook community.
That's right. Here at Blind Brook, the news is all locally sourced and organic.
We will be interviewing many of you guys on the topics you care about, want to know more of, and the ones that bring us all together.
I think one thing that we all can agree on is that spring break couldn't come any sooner.
I just wish it was summer already, but then there would be no Blind Brook news, and we don't want that.
This week's main topic is going to be COVID-19 and how it's affecting students here at Blind Brook.
I wish we could get rid of this thing already. It's been over a year since it started, but since it's affecting our everyday lives, we want to keep you updated and discuss COVID's impact on Blind Brook.
The virus is still spreading extremely fast as the global cases have topped 100 million. The virus has mutated and continues to create concerns for communities. Only 3 months ago, the world reached a tally of 50 million cases. Now, it has doubled. These growing numbers are due to the new mutations that are emerging in Europe. The UK variant has in fact reached the United States, but the CDC does state that there is no evidence of it being any worse. As of now, the US remains the leader of cases with more than 25 million infected. Locally, Westchester has over 90,000 cases, but the fight to end this spread continues, and there is hope that things are going to get better with the vaccine, which is being distributed every day. Many of our staff members have already received it. With the recent vaccine rollouts and the beginning of a decrease in COVID cases in Rye Brook and across the country, Blind Brook has recently announced their plans for a full reopening by spring. Beginning in March, students will be phased into the buildings full-time, something they haven't done since March of 2020. To learn more about these plans and opinions on them, we will now hear the perspective of different members of the Blind Brook community.
What do you prefer, the system that you are in right now, all online, or normal school?
I feel like the obvious answer to that is normal school.
I like as much school as I can get.
Obviously, normal school, being with everyone, getting to be in school 5 days a week, seeing my friends.
But there are perks to being at home. You can sleep in a little bit, and I really value my sleep, so that's really nice. I don't need the 10 minutes in between classes to move around, so I can kind of just use it as a break and do whatever I want.
Because I like the social aspect, but I do appreciate the comfort of my own home.
As you can see, many students miss normal school, but the one thing that they do like about online school is the comfort and freedom of their own homes. However, now you are going to hear about the academic and social problems that they face daily.
It's definitely hard not letting myself slack and always sticking to academic integrity and not going on my phone during classes because there's really no teachers that are watching you anymore.
The attention span one has at home during the day, by the end of the day, last block, it can be very tiring just sitting on Zoom, especially while the teacher is faced at the class while you're just looking at the screen.
The school just has a lot of resources that I can't really get as easily if I'm at home. Like, for example, I can't really see the teachers as much or my guidance counselor very easily, and that's kind of tough.
With hybrid, being able to see a teacher, because being in school 2 days a week, it all kind of starts to pile up on one another, and being on Zoom, there's a different feel of getting to talk to a teacher.
I would say not getting extra help from my teachers in person is a lot harder to get in touch with them.
I feel like socially is probably the part that I miss the most about being in school, just because since I'm full online, if I see my friends not socially distant, that kind of defeats the purpose of being full remote in the first place.
Luckily, when I'm in school on Mondays and Tuesdays, my closest friends are there with me, so it's very nice to be able to see them in classes and have lunch with them.
I think that not seeing people for a full year is really sad at this point. And also getting to have a break from school during lunch to see all my friends is a lot of fun.
This situation has not only affected students, but also teachers. Now we will see the perspectives of student teacher Miss Flynn and the debate team coach Mr. Lewis. They also gave their opinions on breakout rooms and going into school on Wednesdays.
I prefer everything before COVID. I think that there's a certain personal connection that a teacher and a student makes, and sometimes being constantly on Zoom, I think it's sometimes very hard to do that and build that rapport with the student. I think that me as a type of learner, I am better in the classroom.
I've been trying to adapt my curriculum this year, more projects, more more out of class essays. I'm hopeful that as we gradually reopen, we're going to be able to think of creative ways to keep kids who are remote learning for whatever reason, keep them engaged and make them feel that they're a part of the community.
I do like that we are all together on Wednesdays. I really do, because I get to see everyone's faces. Plus, it makes it easier for me, at least as a student teacher, to learn everyone's names and stuff like that. Because I do see both sides. Because I do know that people want to be in school 5 days in a week, and I don't blame them.
One advantage when everybody's together on a Wednesday is that I can set up those breakout rooms and I can hop from room to room and really see how kids are working and how kids are participating.
Honestly, I think breakout rooms are great. I think they're great. And you know what? A lot of even teachers in the middle school use breakout rooms often as well. And I think that it's good because students still are able to collaborate together. It makes you reach out and talk to people that you normally wouldn't talk to. I think the only bad part about it is that you're just not in person, and not everyone has each other's phone numbers and stuff like that. And in high school and middle school, it's weird to be like, oh, like, I don't really talk to you, but like, we're in a group, so like, can I have your number?
We have adapted, I think, surprisingly well to that reality. All of our tournaments have switched to being online. One advantage of these online events, we've gone to tournaments now where we've debated against kids from California. We've debated kids from outside the United States, from Britain and China. Like, that's been a really cool experience. I'm really proud of all the Blind Brook students who are working through this right now. These are unprecedented times, and I've been impressed by the perseverance of so many of y'all during this moment. It's not easy.
As we can, I think that we can all say that mental health has been on the rise. Mental health issues, especially in a COVID world. So I think that's something else that we also need to be focused on as educators, because it's a very, very real and present issue.
What an unusual time we're in right now. Our school is making many adjustments, and while there have been successes, there have also been challenges.
Couldn't have put it better myself. Although COVID is going on and has a huge impact on our daily lives, it's not the only thing that's happening.
You're very right. We have school sports, academics, spring break coming up, and before you know it, summer.
All those are true, but I was thinking more on a national scale. Politics have had a huge effect, and they've been going crazy these past couple weeks. We wanted to get the insider scoop on how students on Blind Brook are affected by politics.
Politics have been a big subject of tension in the United States recently. Less than a month ago, the democracy of the United States was put in danger when rioters stormed the United States Capitol. Trump supporters that were upset with the recent election of President Joe Biden and alleged voter fraud stormed the Capitol with guns and tactical gear in hope of violently gaining control of the country. Luckily, authorities regained control of the Capitol and pushed the mob out using tear gas. This riot had many disastrous effects. Many important political figures' lives were put in danger during this riot. Both rioters and policemen died, and many of the rioters were arrested for violence and breaking into the Capitol building. The United States Department of Justice has started charging many of these rioters at the Capitol and will make sure the people responsible for this attack face the full consequences. It is important that we, as citizens of the United States, remember this country was built on having a democracy. Without it, there would be chaos and corruption of power. That is correct. No matter which candidate you support or what political party you are part of, we are still one nation. People are allowed to have different opinions, but endangering others' lives and breaking into buildings is no way to voice these opinions. We were able to get through these riots and remain a strong and democratic country. A peaceful transition of power occurred when Joe Biden was inaugurated on January 20th. The preservation of our democracy remains, and our country will hopefully be better than ever in the coming years. We will now take a look from the perspectives of different students, teachers, and administrators in different positions regarding their opinions on the Capitol riots.
I was really confused and I just totally bewildered, and I just couldn't even really fathom what happened. I as soon as it happened, I sort of knew. I was like, this is a once in a lifetime moment. Like this is never going to happen again. It was just shock.
You know, I think being a history teacher and you guys being history students, I think we continually see protests throughout history. Yeah. So, we're not that surprised, that protests and revolutions have been an important part of history. But I think we were very surprised with how it transpired here, how our Capitol building was kind of targeted.
Definitely.
So it does depend on where you stand on the political spectrum. The lesson for me in the past couple of months was that we need to have balance and perspective.
Mr. Mulvaney emphasizes the importance of class discussions regarding topics like these, where a student like Clara would be able to express themselves, but he also makes sure to let students who aren't actively following the news to take more of a listening role.
It's important that people get the opportunity to discuss it and talk about it if they want to. So in my classes, I provided that opportunity. But I was careful not to lead the conversation. I was careful not to provide leading questions because, I have to be understanding and tolerant of the fact that there are different viewpoints. And it's not my job to lead you one way or another, but it is my job to kind of give you that opportunity to express your viewpoint.
I think people are always going to be politically divided. People are always going to choose certain parties over others. And I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing by any means. As long as people understand each other's points of views and try to, work to build a better America. I mean, I think having differences in political beliefs is totally fine and a good and natural thing.
There are quite a number here who just, don't really want to talk about it or don't have an interest in it. And I think that's fine too. We're all at different points in life. And, some people just aren't ready for deep political discussions yet.
And I hope that our government and our community works towards building, a happier, brighter, hopefully corona-free future. So, yeah.
My overarching theme in all these discussions was that, democracy is about the people. And our system is always bigger than than who's ever in charge. The system of democracy will always kind of win out in the end, and our constitution will always hold up. And I think that's kind of a comfort in a way. For some people we're going through a chaotic time, for other people we're not, but we still have that overarching, constitution and our overarching belief in democracy that will hold out and win in the end.
Wow, what an amazing first episode.
Yeah, and thank you to all of the amazing students and staff that helped put this together, and also the students and staff that have been interviewed.
Go follow our Instagram at Blind Brook News for updates and DM us with ideas for our next episode or if you want to join our team.
And that's what's happening at Blind Brook. Thanks for watching.
And see you next episode.